about 12 years. Went through coaching guys your age. The difference is you have qualified coaches as opposed to when I was coaching, okay? They can actually teach you how to play lacrosse right. But, you know, we wanted to get together. Has anyone noticed on your pennies or your jerseys the 22 on the chest? Okay, and some of you may have heard what it's all about, but probably not everyone. But you guys are the future of Spring Lake lacrosse. You're the near future. Who's been to varsity games this year? Yeah, fun?
Yeah.
Ever hear a guy announcing, go crazy on the players when they score? That's me. What's your name? Brody Boot, okay? Brody Boot! Starting at midi for your Lakers! That's what it sounds like, okay, over a loudspeaker. So anyways, with what you guys are doing, 7 and 8, you know, 3-4 is fun, 5-6, maybe a little more fun. 7 and 8, that's where it gets real competitive, right? You guys are getting after it. You guys are getting ready for the next level. Some of you are going to move right into playing varsity, JV next year. Whatever works out for you, as long as you're having a great time playing lacrosse, that's the important thing, okay? Tonight I want to talk about the 22 that you have on your jerseys, okay? And if you look around at your buddies out here, your best friend on the team, the hardest worker on the team, the guy with the most character that brings it and has a smile on his face every practice and every game, that guy is a guy named Jared Coleman. Has anyone heard the name Jared Coleman before? All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So the number 22 represents two things. It's the number that Jared Coleman wore when he played for Spring Lake, okay? It also represents, at 22 years old, Jared was killed on August 27th in 2018 by a drunk driver, him and his grandparents, okay? The reason why it's such a big deal to Spring Lake lacrosse, and this is what we hope for everyone here, because as you see, we've got a lot of great dads coaching and a new dad coaching, okay? But our hope is that you guys continue your career in high school. Maybe some of you will play college lacrosse. Awesome. But our goal with the program is maybe you'll come back someday and you'll start coaching the kids 1 and 2, 3 and 4, the 5, 6, 7, 8, helping out with the high school. Because you guys are the best 7th and 8th grade group that's come through Spring Lake. We get better every year, okay? Every year you guys have more skill, more speed, more size, for God's sakes, okay? It just keeps building and building with Spring Lake. So a little bit about Jared Coleman. My son Dominic Molotky plays at Michigan State. My other son Danton plays at Detroit Mercy, okay? So they went through Spring Lake, had great experiences, but it's because of the coaches that you have here and a coach like Jared Coleman. He came back after he played, and he coached the 7-8 team that won Lighthouse, went undefeated that year. He coached the 5-6s at some point. He gave back to the program, and what made it really interesting about Jared is he wasn't the best player on the team, ever. He was maybe mid-pack, but what he was a hard worker, a guy who loved the sport, and more importantly, he's the guy that wanted to give back to the program, okay? So, you know, it was a big tragedy back in 2018, and what we decided as a board was you have to honor a guy like this that's become such a big part of the program, which is why it's important that you guys know his name and understand what that 22 is on your chest. What we decided, every boy that plays in the program is going to have a 22 on their chest in honor and memory of Jared. But in high school, there's one player that will ever wear number 22 on the varsity. It's a player, again, doesn't have to be the best player, okay? Could be, but doesn't have to be. But it has to be that guy that's out here working, grinding, being a good teammate, being a good friend, showing a lot of character, working hard in school, and just being that guy. And that's what we want to challenge you guys to be. Be that guy. Your goal is going to be, hey, the 8th graders, I hope I make varsity next year, okay? I want you to reset that. I want you to enjoy the game a bit, okay? But I want you to start thinking, I want to be that guy that earns the right to wear number 22, because that's the most important part of the Spring Lake lacrosse program when we start talking about things outside of lacrosse, okay? That 22 means something. We've had big ceremonies, especially the year after it happened. So far, there's been 4 that have worn the 22. We had the COVID year, but the first one was Dominic Molotky, okay? The second was Jake Vinkamolder, if anyone knows that name. The next one was Gavin Cunningham. He was a goalie. He wore 22. And he shared it with Jake Vinkamolder. And the last one last year was Brendan O'Donnell. Any of those names, you guys hear those names before? Okay. You know, these are guys that just got it done for Spring Lake lacrosse and made us proud to be a part of this. We're 344 strong this year. We're the biggest lacrosse program in the entire state of Michigan. Okay? That includes the girls, includes the high school. Spring Lake's about lacrosse. I think we know that. We have a lot of fun playing the other sports, and we always want you guys enjoying playing the other sports. But as we continue to build Spring Lake lacrosse, I want you to keep in mind what that 22 means, and what a real goal is to be that guy that qualifies to wear the 22 someday when you play on the varsity team, okay? So if you guys are up for it, on Tuesday, the varsity's playing against Lowell. It's a 7 o'clock game. We're gonna do a ceremony before the game for Jared. We're gonna honor the guys that have worn 22 up to this point, plus the current number 22. Everyone knows Sam Schaefer?
Yes.
He's a beast, yes? Okay. But you know what? Sam's a great player. And, you know, just like everyone else, you have your ups and downs on the field. Sometimes you have a great day, sometimes you don't. It's lacrosse. It's a game of mistakes. But what Sam has is a lot of character and the respect of his teammates for the way he handles himself both on and off the field. And that's what we would challenge you guys, every single one of you. There's not one guy here kneeling that doesn't have a chance to wear that 22. Not one of you, okay? I don't care what position you play, where you rank on the team, skill-wise, whatever. If you're out here grinding and doing what the coaches ask and working your butts off, I'd be proud to announce your name wearing the number 22, okay? So guys, I know you have practice. You don't want to sit here and kneel and listen to some old guy ramble on much longer, but I'll tell you, keep in mind what the 22 means. For us, that was, 5 years ago? So when you guys were 3rd, 4th grade or whatever it may be, maybe even younger, you probably didn't know who Jared was, but what it meant to us and the entire program, everyone that was playing in the high school and 7th, 8th, 5, and 6 that were actually touched by Jared, his generosity, his skill as a coach, his ability to motivate people, it was a big deal. And we just hope that just knowing a little bit more, that's the goal, boys. Be that guy. Every day you're out here, be thankful you're out here playing a sport that you love, and get after it and work hard for your coaches. Not about wins and losses, it's about being a good teammate, having a lot of fun, and of course, always, always beating Grand Haven, right?
Oh, yes.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you all.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Let's get around the field and get warmed up.
Okay, boys, break off into red and gray. Line it up, pairs of 2. Let's do our one lap, one big lap. Let's go. Let's get it started. Let's have a hot one today, boys.
Come on, boys. Go, boys.